Welcome back to Vampire Gaming. Today we are back in The Sims 4 with the Cordova household. Now in this video, we're going to get them set up. We're going to play through the welcome wagon for once, because I never play the welcome wagon, how it's supposed to be played. So we're going to do that and try to make them some friends or get some relationships started. And I also wanted to talk about, and where they're going to get jobs. But I did want to talk about this a little bit before the video. But so when this video is being edited, I have already purchased it, but I am buying the Crystal Creation Pack, and the next video will be based on that pack alone. And I know there was a lot of controversy with that pack, but I did buy it and I did want to see how it played, even though there was all that controversy. So we will be doing that next time, but I know it's a little late to release it since it did come out on the 29th, and I did buy it the day it was released, like 2 hours after it released, but I'm not going to get around to editing the video and all of this till probably, I believe it will be released on March 5th, the same day as this video. It will be released on the same day. Now, I sat here waiting for forever for the welcome party to show up, but the only guy that ever showed up was this guy, Reuben Hood. And usually welcome parties consist of at least 3 people, and one of them brings cake, but no, the only guy who showed up was this Reuben Hood guy, so we are going to invite him in. Now, I did send Athena to make friends and invite him in, but now that I think about it, he's a little older than her. He's an adult, I don't know what the ages are, but so I think he's going to be friends with the parents. Also, he gives me a creepy vibe, so we're going to see how that goes. So I did invite him in, but he kind of stood in the middle area for a while, so my sim did go sit down. But then he made his way to the kitchen and kind of just stole our food without being asked, and sat in the table. He just did this on his own. I didn't call him to meal or anything. He just kind of snatched up our food. But we are going to be polite neighbors, so I did call over, I already forgot all their names. Giuseppe and, yeah, I forgot the mom's name, to come. I'll get this eventually. I'll get their names down eventually. Might be 10 videos later, but I will get them down eventually. Now, I did call them to come sit in the dining room with him and join him for dinner, so it would be less awkward and they could make friends. So I let them talk over dinner for a while and do their thing, but all my Sims kind of started to dislike him. So I did start looking on the street if there was any other random Sims walking by I could coax into the household to be the welcome party so they could make friends. But while I was doing that, a neighbor did show up, so we're going to greet her and hope that goes better this time. So this is Allison. We invited her to the table and she is chilling. I think they like her better than Reuben, so that's going well. Now, I am kind of disappointed in this welcome party. When I don't want it, so many Sims come. On the first video of the horrific Reddit stories, I didn't want to play the welcome party. I was ignoring them the whole time. And 5 Sims came over, brought cake, and started throwing a pool party in my pool. But now, when I actually want a welcome party, legitimately no one shows up. So I don't know how we're gonna fix this. They have no friends. So the first thing I did is I got Rhonda on the phone and I'm getting her looking for a job. Now, if you watched the original Sims creation video when we made all of these Sims, if you haven't, go watch that first, because it goes into more detail on who they are and all that stuff individually. but Rhonda did like to garden and she liked to cook, I believe. So we are going to attempt to get her a job. I was going to get her a job as a gardener, but now I don't see that as an option. So we're going to make her be a cook. So, without using cheats, the best job in culinary I could get her was an assistant dishwasher. So, I don't want to use cheats this early in, so we are going to just. She's going to work her way up the ladder. So, now she is an assistant dishwasher. And maybe one day she can be promoted to cook where she actually likes her job. Now, for Guillermo, I called him Giuseppe earlier. His name is Guillermo. We're going to try to get him a job too. So if you paid any attention to Guillermo in the past, like I should have, you would have known that he has the writer aspiration, he's a lover of art, and he just really wants to be a best-selling author in life. So we are going to try to get him a job writing or something in that area of work. So the best job I could find him was assistant writer. So he too will have to work his way up the ladder to fame. Now, Alessandro is still a teen, so he is in school. He is a student, so he's safe for now. He's not going to get a job yet. And then Athena, she's our main character, and it's always a pain when they go to work for a day, so she's not going to have a job because I want to use her to actually play, and when they go to work then you can't use them until they get home and it's just a pain. So she's not going to have a job. And she's just going to stay at home and maybe she'll get a job eventually. We won't rule it out, but for now she's not going to have a job. Now, the Sims that came for the welcome party were starting to leave right about now, so I was going to wrap up the video by explaining what we're going to be doing in the next video and kind of the Crystal Creations pack in general. But then Lilith Vator, I don't know how to say their names, alright, came over and she is a vampire. If you have seen the vampire pack and know that town, she's married to Caleb Vator. So I did decide we're going to try to make a friend out of her. So we're going to see how that goes. So is it a good idea to invite a vampire in? I don't know, but I did. So she came and she kind of hung out for a while, but nothing much really happened on that. So I am going to go on now and explain the next pack. So if you saw earlier, Athena has the curator aspiration, so she wants to collect everything. I did make her with this pack in mind, so she is going to try to collect all the shiny things and all this pack has to offer. Now, it was really controversial for many reasons. I think the most prominent was that people thought it was going to be a fairy themed pack, which I really don't know where that came from. Like, all the ads and stuff never really, or I never thought it showed it as a fairy pack. Plus, they usually release like occult sims like vampires, werewolves, mermaids in like the bigger game packs, like not a stuff pack. So I don't know where that came from. I do hope one day in the future we do get fairies because that would be fun. Um, but yeah, no, I'm happy with the Crystal Creations pack because I myself am a crystal girly and all the way through, so I'm super excited about this pack. Now, another thing was I kind of designed this house badly for that pack, so in the next video I am going to go ahead and add an entire basement just for the Crystal Creations pack so we can mess with everything it has to offer. Additionally, I wanted to talk about the what was it? about The Sims 5 and some of the other stuff that has been released or is going on lately. So, in the background, ignore my sim. I do want to get a head start on the crystals, so I am just setting her out collecting those. So, when it actually comes out, we have enough crystals to play with it because I don't know exactly how it works. I know there was said to be an option to buy crystals, but I don't know if you have to level up enough to use it. So, ignore her. She's going to collect crystals in the background. Um, so I did kind of want to talk about The Sims 5. So now that The Sims 5 is coming out, and we have confirmation, well, we kind of always had confirmation, but now that we have more confirmation and it's more of a reality, they have released some things about it. Now, with this release, they gave an update to The Sims 4 base game, and they put a flashy little shopping cart in the corner, which has sparked controversy on its own. But when recording this video, that hadn't come out yet, so it's not here on the corner, or I would show you specifically. But it is in the Crystal Creations video, I believe. And it is so annoying. So hopefully that gets done. I know they took out the flash, I believe, and just changed it to a blinky little yellow dot, which doesn't really help the issue. And now The Sims is kind of becoming more money grabby. So I don't know how I feel about that. Like, if we're going to keep playing all that much, depending how The Sims keeps updating, if they continue advertising within their own game, which is so stupid for so many reasons, and that kind of stuff. I know they said they were going to keep updating it for a few more years, but that time has kind of started coming to an end. So I don't really know if we'll get too many more packs before The Sims 4 is completely kind of not shut down, but like stopped. They're going to, whenever they stop like working on it and switch over to Sims 5. Now, I am excited though for Sims 5. I believe I read that it is going to be free to play from the beginning. So, like, they usually only released The Sims to be free to play a couple years after they came out and stuff. But I believe it is going to be free to play from the start, as well as what I'm most excited about is multiplayer. I would love to have a good, well done multiplayer in The Sims so you could show your friends The Sims world. So I am super excited about that. The last thing I kind of wanted to talk about is the Sims 4 Sims 4 24th anniversary. I think it was 24. Birthday thing is like, for their anniversary, they released a list basically just telling you to play the game like it was supposed to be a fun challenge thing. And I think that made a lot of Simmers upset, but it was basically just telling you to play the game. And if you already are a longtime fan of the game, you've done like all the things on the list. So the birthday surprise wasn't really anything, and I think a lot of people were disappointed with that. But like, The Sims has never done anything really birthday-y in the past that was like big or anything. So again, The Sims is doing some weird things, and we know EA kind of hates everybody and everything and doesn't really care. But so I am iffy on how this series is going to continue in the future now with all these updates coming out. I will keep you updated, but I kind of just wanted to make a video addressing that.